Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're doing a Stardust Dragon Assault Mode deck profile. Have you ever wanted to have Solemn Judgment on legs? Well, now look no further because you have it, and it recurs every single turn. So I'm super excited for this deck because basically, Stardust Dragon Assault Mode has a really neat effect that you can negate a spell trap or monster effect once per turn by attributing this card, and then during the end phase you special summon this card back from the graveyard, which is a awesome effect to be able to do and just be able to just bring back your monsters over and over again to negate cards over and over and over again. So, without further ado, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can come to our notification squad, and definitely check out that Patreon down in the description below because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, like getting your name in the description for every single video, getting a signed card to the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile just like this one every single month that you are a patron. So, without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So, first off, we are going to be playing 3 copies of Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. So, Stardust Dragon Assault Mode is basically the big boss monster deck. You special summon this card with Assault Mode activate while you have a Stardust Dragon on your side of the field. You just send this card to the graveyard with the Assault Mode activate. Summon out your copy of Stardust Dragon Assault Mode when it has the awesome armor and it has the following effect. It cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summoned by the effect of Assault Mode activate. And then it also has the ability that when an opponent's monster activates a spell trap or monster effect, you can tribute this card and destroy that card and negate the effect. And it has also the ability that you can special summon this card from your graveyard during the end phase of the effects of when this card was activated. And then when this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Stardust Dragon from your graveyard, which you're going to legitimately synchro summon into it, so it has you get your Stardust Dragon back pretty easily. I do play a single copy of Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode as well. It's a really good card to just blow board with, because if this card's on your side of the field, if this card attacks, you destroy all their monsters on the field after damage calculation, and when this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard, which is pretty good just to be able to get you those monsters back on your side of the field and just destroy all the monsters on the field. We then play 3 copies of Assault Sentinel. Assault Sentinel is a really good card because you can tribute this card to special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck that specifically lists Assault Mode activated in its text, which is usually going to be your copy of Psy Reflector. And then it also has the ability that you can target one face a monster you control, reveal a synchro monster in your extra deck, and if you do, the targeted monster's type becomes that attribute and becomes the same as the revealed monster, which is sometimes comes up handy, but basically this is your starter card that you always want to open up Assault Sentinel, because we basically play 6 of it because we play we play the Fire Formation Tinky in the deck to search it from deck. We then play 3 copies of Psy Reflector. Psy Reflector is the card that you're always going to search off this card. Psy Reflector's effect is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add Assault Mode activate, or 1 card that specifically lists Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. And then you can reveal an Assault Mode activate in your hand that you just searched, and then target a monster in your graveyard that specifically lists it in its text and special summon it. And if you do, increase its level by 1 or 4, depending on however much you want to increase it. So what you're going to do is you're going to normal summon this out, tribute it, search, or special summon this, and then immediately trigger its effect, search the Assault Mode activate, bring this back, and then call 8, or you're going to call 3, boost it up by 3, and then synchro these 2 together to go for Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. We then play a single copy of Assault Beast just to discard to the graveyard in case we really need to get to our copy of Assault Mode activate. You just play the 1-of copy of this card. You can play more of it. I just feel like 1 is fine because you discard it to the graveyard to add Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Summoner Monk. This card helps us get to our Assault Sentinel even faster by discarding a spell card that you might not need in your hand to just special summon that card from the deck. We then play a single copy of Psyframe Driver. Psyframe Driver is really good because a lot of times you'll tribute monsters on your side of the field and then be left with no monsters, so you can trigger your effects of Psyframe Gear Gamma, which gets us into more synchro plays, which is really good. And it's one of the only hand traps in the game that can actually negate hand traps, because it can't be normal summoned or set. It also has the ability when an opponent's monster activates its effect while you control no monsters, which sometimes you're going to tribute this, and this might be the only monster you have, so you have this as a backup play in the hand. You can special summon this card from your hand. And then special summon a Psyframe Driver from your hand, deck, or grave, and if you do, negate the activation and destroy the card. So if your opponent tries to Ash Blossom you, you just special summon Gamma, negate the Ash Blossom, destroy it. If your opponent tries to Nibiru you special summon Gamma, negate it, and destroy it. And then you special summon Driver, and then you get an additional synchro play with the Driver and the Gamma, which is really, really, really cool. And with this card just getting a reprint in Toon Chaos, it's extremely easy to get a hold of and made this entire deck pretty budget. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. This card's really easy to pull off in this deck, especially to bring back a copy of like Stardust Dragon off of your copy of Monster Reborn that you legitimately synchro summoned into with your assault mode, and then bring that back to your side of the field. One copy of 1-for-1 to get out your copy of the Psi Reflector onto your side of the field as quickly as possible. You really want to get those monsters out quickly so you can get your searches off and plays. One copy of Emergency Teleport to get out your other psychic monsters like your Psi Reflector onto your side of the field as quickly as possible. Assault Mode 0, you just play as a 1-of. You tribute a synchro monster, especially an Assault Mode monster from your hand, who specifically includes that monster in its text. And then during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard to set an Assault Mode activate directly from your hand or deck, and it cannot be activated this turn, which is pretty good. But you tribute it to special summon any Assault Mode from your hand. So if I have, like, for instance, if I have Stardust on my field and I want to summon Red Dragon, you can use this to actually get that card out. Or you can actually use the Red Dragon, you use like Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight to get out your copy of your assault mode. So like you do this to get this out on the field. If you have this and you destroy board, you can just chain this and then summon out your Red Dragon Archfiend assault mode, which is pretty cool to be able to just get that monster out as quickly as possible onto your side of the field with your Stardust Dragon assault mode. It's like playing a 4th copy of assault mode activate. We then play 3 copies of Assault Teleport. Assault Teleport lets us return an Assault Mode monster from our hand to our deck, and then you get to draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. It's also a Summoner Monk target that you can send it back to the deck to be able to, like, discard it to special summon out your copy of Assault Sentinel. Since getting to our Assault Sentinel is so pivotal, we also play 3 copies of Perform Battle Popper Up. This card's really good too, because if you draw multiple copies of, like, Gamma and you don't need them, or Driver, it doesn't matter if it's in your hand or graveyard or deck, it doesn't matter. So you can discard the Driver, discard stuff like that, or your multiple copies of Assault Mode monsters, or if you draw 2 of these and a copy of Driver, you can discard both of them and then activate Popper Up and then draw 2, and you might get the Sentinel or a Tenki to dig deeper into the deck. So it just helps you dig in the deck a little bit. 3 copies of Tenki. Tenki is really good because it lets you add from deck to your hand your Sentinel, and then 3 copies of Call by the Grave. The Call by the Graves come in super handy because you don't want to get hand trapped, and your Gamma is already going to take care of part of that problem, but you really don't want to get hand trapped, and so this card comes in really, really handy to stop that while you're trying to draw or dig into the deck. To special summon out your copy of Psi Reflector off the Sentinel, you have this because Gamma will not work when you have that monster on your side of the field. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we are going to be playing 3 copies of the most powerful trap in the entire deck, and that is 3 copies of Assault Mode Activate. You got to play 3 copies of Assault Mode Activate. You tribute a synchro monster, special summon an Assault Mode monster whose name included in the tributed monster's name from your deck in attack position. So you can't special summon from your hand. That's why Assault 0 is so real good, is because with Assault 0, it can special summon from your hand, and this one special summons from deck. So like if I tribute my copy of Stardust Dragon, I can special summon Stardust Dragon Assault Mode from my extra deck, or from my deck, and if I tribute my copy of Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, I can special summon out my copy of Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, which is really, really, really pivotal to the deck. You really want to summon out both of these because you get so much advantage just digging into the deck and getting both these monsters out, because this can destroy everything and this can negate something. So you essentially have a negate and a destruction on your side of the field at that point, which is pretty good. I mean, it's really good. You kind of want to watch out because you don't want to destroy everything sometimes, because you want to be able to recur your Stardust Dragon. So we then play 3 copies of Back to the Front. Back to the Front's really good because it lets you bring back your monsters from the graveyard like Assault Sentinel to be able to tribute it again to trigger its effect. And this also brings back your synchro monsters that you synchro summon into, which is really nice as well. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon is the pivotal card in the extra deck. You're going to summon this card all the time. You're basically going to summon this so you can get your copy of Stardust Dragon Assault Mode on your side of the field. And plus it has a really good effect that if a card is going to be destroyed on the field, then you can tribute this card, and then after you do, during the end phase, you special summon it back, which is pretty good. I like that effect. It helps out a lot. We then play a single copy of Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. The Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend comes in super handy because you're going to want to put this card on the field a lot so you can just instantly get out your plays of your Scarlight or Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode, and this card counts as Red Dragon Archfiend while in the field or in the graveyard, so that does come in handy so you don't have to play the OG one. You can play the original one if you want to play the original one, but I just recommend playing this particular version of it so you can go into other plays. We then play a single copy of Beals because it's really easy to go into Beals in this deck because it does require a dark tuner monster, which, guess what? Reflector is a dark monster, which is really, really helpful to go into the Beals for extra plays. We then play a single copy of Void Ogre Dragon because the Void Ogre Dragon requires a dark monster to go into this card, and it can negate spells and traps. So you can summon this and a copy of Scarlight, or the copy of Stardust Dragon, and you essentially get 2 negates. Now the cool combo is if you actually summon your Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode with your Beals, it won't destroy the Beals. And if you summon Void Ogre with your copy of Stardust, you get 2 negates. So they kind of combo well with, like, Void Ogre combos with Red Dragon and Beals combo, or Beals combos with Red Dragon and Void Ogre combos with Stardust, which is kind of cool. 1 copy of Crystal Wing. This card comes up every so often when you go for a 7 and then you have a Reflector in your hand left over with, like, Reflector plus F.A. Dawn Dragster. 1 copy of Cyframe Lord Omega. Cyframe Lord Omega is really pivotal to the extra deck because you do play Gamma, and it's really easy to go into this card. 1 copy of Black Rose Dragon. Again, really easy to summon in this deck. You just go, you call 2 boost, you call for a 2 level increase off of your copy of Reflector to go into this card. 1 copy of Cyber's Quantum Dragon. A lot of people don't realize how good this card is against Link cards, and this card is really, really good against Link cards. Dawn Dragster just to negate stuff on the field, and you can also use the Dawn Dragster with a copy of Reflector to go into your copy of Crystal Wing, which is really awesome. 1 copy of Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron comes up for a combo in just a second that I'm going to reveal to you guys, but it does give you an additional draw. You guys might be looking at this card and be like, you can't Synchron to that. Well, you can't in the main deck, but you can with a card in the extra deck. Then we're going to be playing a single copy of Trishula. Trishula is really good in the deck too because it's extremely easy to go into, because you just have to have 2 level 4s on the field and the Reflector, or you can call levels and level manipulate around to get into Trishula. Satellite Warrior is extremely good in this deck, and it's awesome to be able to play Stardust and Satellite Warrior. Now what you do with the Satellite Warrior is you just summon out your copy of Crystron Needle Fiber and then tribute the Needle Fiber away while you have like a Stardust on your side of the field to summon Formula, draw a card, and then go for the copy of Satellite Warrior. And then you get multiple pops on your side of the field, which is really good. I like that ability to be able to pop multiple cards, and it gains attack equal to the number of Synchro monsters in your graveyard. So you're already going to have 2 with the Stardust and the Formula Synchron when you summon this card. So it's really easy to go ahead and have this card at 4,500 upon summon, and it gives you 2 pops. And also, if the Synchro Summon card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon 3 level 8 or lower Warrior Synchro or Stardust Synchro monsters with different names from your graveyard. So you can special summon out your copy of Stardust back. It replaces itself with a Stardust, which is really good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a super cool, fun deck. You only play 1 Link monster in the entire deck, and that's Needle Fiber. Go figure, because it's a Synchro deck. But it's super fun to play around with. I highly recommend that you guys give this deck a try. It's pretty budget, to be honest with you guys, because the majority of the stuff in the main deck is commons, and the majority of the stuff in the extra deck has been reprinted left and right. So it's pretty cheap, to be honest, build this deck. You can probably build this deck for less than 50 bucks. Probably less than that, even. But anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can become part of our notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check out the Patreon down in the description. See you later, guys.